Good day, budget-wise audiophiles. As you know, my name is Joe, the founder of Fidelto, and today I am giving you an update on where the amp stands and how everything is going. So let's go. First of all, let me talk about the design. So what we've discussed the last few weeks is that it is too big now. That design was needed for cooling and for testing out, but the overheating is still occurring even in this case. So that means that there is something wrong in the circuit. The efficiency is not high enough and it's dissipating too much heat to produce the energy that's needed for the speakers. So that's a problem and that needs to be solved. Also, the knobs are a little bit too big. I think the volume knob is okay, but the knob for the selector has to be smaller because else it looks a little bit off and that's not what we want. And I cannot add a fan, so the overheating cannot be solved just by adding a fan and then just pushing the heat out, because this would make too much noise in the amplifier. So what are my solutions? First of all, I'm going to improve, and that's what I've been doing all the calculations on the last few weeks, the efficiency of the circuit. I need to make sure that the circuit doesn't produce as much heat, because it was producing a whole bunch of heat just for doing nothing. So it was basically in a class A mode all the time. And it is a class AB amplifier. So you need to be able to move the point where it switches to class B a little bit earlier, because if it's always in class A mode, we'll be having a lot of dissipation and we can't have that. Then I need to add holes on the top of the case, and this will allow the heat to escape, because what's happening now is that the heat is staying inside of the case and the circuit heating up eventually is making it less efficient, which produces more heat, which makes it even less efficient, and you can get the cycle. It's just a vicious cycle. The whole time you're adding more heat, less efficient, more heat, more heat, more heat, and eventually the circuit just breaks because of too much heat. And I'm going to do a more thorough heat analysis. I am not per se the expert in this area, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get somebody to actually make a model, a heat model of the case. Then I can see exactly where the heat is staying and where the holes have to be put for it to leave the case. And then make sure that the case can also get smaller, because that's eventually the goal, to make a smaller, more neat, minimalistic design and not just have a very big case that is not going to look good in living rooms, because that's also a goal. We need to make sure that the case, it is essentially a piece of furniture, so it needs to also fit in the environment and it needs to look good. It can't only sound good, it also has to look good for people to want to buy it and to have it in the living room. Then we have a timeline. So what's my timeline at the moment? Because from August and September we had mostly testing, seeing where the problems are. And now we're really getting to the last few months before delivery. So this week, so the 19th of October to the 25th of October, I'm going to finish the final circuit calculations I need to do to make sure that we have a really stable circuit that actually switches to class B mode when it has to, and doesn't just stay in the class A mode. Then I'm going to sketch the design, or I'm going to let somebody else sketch the design, so that we have a really nice, smaller, minimalistic design and not just a big case. Then next week, between the 26th and the 1st of November, it will be, for me at least, the design and the layout of the circuit. So putting it into the Ego software, putting all the components and then laying it out on the circuit board and making sure all the traces are good and that there's no interference there. And then order the circuit boards from the supplier and send the CAD for the case to the manufacturer. So then with the new improvements, with the holes at the top, with bigger holes on the side, and overall a smaller, more minimalistic design. Then between the 2nd and the 8th of November, I will receive the circuit boards from the supplier, and then I will test the performance, make sure that now the efficiency isn't completely wrong and actually works. Then receive the photos from the supplier of the case, and eventually the week after I hope to receive those parts, put everything into the case, and then by, let's say, the week of the 9th of November, I'm expecting to then have a new, more improved, more minimalistic, and more efficient amplifier for you guys. And that would actually be the golden master of the amp. So that means that if that by this, the week of the 9th to the 15th of November, that can arrive, so I can test within that week, see if the problems still occur, and if they don't occur anymore, then make sure that everything is still safe, everything is still protected for adverse conditions. And hopefully then by between the 16th and the 30th of November, I can test all the circuits and make sure everything works, make sure it is that I can assemble it easily, and then in the month of December, start to actually deliver the amp. So it's very stressful times at the moment. It's a lot of tweaking here, testing there, but eventually the circuit will work, and it will still, like I said in my my previous videos, I will still have an amplifier delivered to the first buyer in Portugal by the end of this year. So, thank you guys for watching. I know it's been some time. I know it seems like there's not much content going out, but it has to do with that there isn't really much exciting stuff to show. I mean, I can show you all my calculations. I can show you me making tweaks and doing this and doing that. But I really hope that this video informed you guys on what's happening, really informed you on where we're going, and also shows you that there's still stuff going on and that there will still be an amplifier out by the end of the year. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you this Friday, hopefully. Bye, guys.